Good evening, YouTube. This is Kaylin Strain coming at you with my regular Sunday night dinner. And today is what Minotaur Trading Company had done their take on a meal cold weather. And this was menu 1, and at the time that I ordered this is the only one of this kind left on the site. There may be a few more of these, but this menu 1 is the only choice available. I see a Curious Pete, Angry Blacksmith in the house. Thanks for dropping in. I see another name, but I don't know who the third one is yet. But this looks like a gamer inspired because of the way that this whole label is done. There is Robert in the house. Thanks for dropping in. I see someone had dropped out. Probably got booted. That happens. People get booted out. So I have a kettle of water on the stove. Now this one says it's freeze dried. Yet this also references a flameless ration heater. You know how MRE bags say that flameless ration heaters are not allowed on planes unless it's inside the original ration bag. But it has a peelable seal, has inspection date of 2/20/31. Well, that's a lie because I'm going to be inspecting this right now. I don't know what other menus are in this particular lineup because it had been a while since I'd seen anything like that. I'm just working my thumb into the... Well, it looks like this peelable seal is a fail. Because I literally poked my thumb through the bag. See, I just put my finger through that hole. But I got a backup plan for that. Get my blade to it. And we'll see what we got in here. It's a pilot bread cracker. It's a single pilot bread cracker. And here is the chili mac main in one of these tall bags. So, and my spork, my foreign emery spork will not be long enough to go in there, but I got a backup plan for that. Oh, the root beer float dessert beverage. I've already done this with carbonated water. I do not have another carbonated water. But because this takes a larger amount than what my drinking jar can hold, I will have to switch that out for my Minotaur mug. This is cheesy bacon mashed potatoes. And it says bacon bits, but I don't know if they're artificial bacon bits or if they are real bacon bits. So just to be on the cautious side, since obviously I don't eat pork, this is going to get switched out. So someone else will get that. But anyway, we'll carry on with what else is in here. Have an accessory pack with a little spork, and that's even shorter than my foreign MRE spork. But as I said, I have a backup plan for that. There is Rachel in the house. Thanks for dropping in. I brought back this teaspoon, which is perfect for getting into these longer bags. I'll get into that accessory pack in a bit. What else is in here? All day snack. Chocolate covered sunflower seeds. I'm just checking the chat to see if anyone else had slipped in. Nope. If you've never tried these chocolate covered sunflower seeds, these are awesome. They're shelled sunflower kernels coated like M&Ms. Let's see, something else came out of here. Cherry drink mix. So got 2 drinks in this thing. And something fell out. Well, this longer standard issue MRE spoon fell out. But I'm going to hold it up to the bag. And I think this spoon here is just going to win because it is just... It's a little bit longer, so I'm going to go with this one. And then I have chocolate peanut spread. I suppose that would go with the pilot cracker. And there's actually no FR here. So, of course, that bag will be the garbage bag. So, I am going to move a couple of things aside so that I can get into this accessory kit. Just everything falls out of there. So we have the Smarties candies. In other places, these might be called rockets. Again, that little spork, which will go into my collection of plastic utensils that is part of my prepping supplies, so that in the event that I have to stop using utensils like this or this, then I can go to the plastic ones and just throw them away. So I've got non-dairy creamer that goes into the foreign MRE mug. Got a Taster's Choice house blend coffee, salt and pepper. Sugar goes into the mug, and a wet wipe. I'm going to move a few things aside. Of course, we all know that. Now, I might just go ahead and put the spread on this pilot cracker because the chili mac is probably just going to be all right on its own. I do have another instant mashed potatoes in my box of stuff that I can get out. So I'm going to go ahead and do that because I will need the water to prepare that anyway. And then I will later get a water bottle out to mix the drinks, and I'll have to decide. There's M Puppy Breath in the house. Thanks for dropping in. Since I've done the root beer float with the carbonated water, and I've had the cherry drink before, which is awesome. So this cherry drink is very good. Do I want to do both drinks or one? So while I go get my other mashed potatoes that do not have the bacon, you make up my mind. Should I do one or both of these drinks? And if only one, then which one? So I'll give you some time. Okay, I am back with the garlic instant mashed potatoes, something else from Minotaur. And I have a bowl that I brought out because I wasn't sure if I would need that for the chili mac, but this bowl won't be big enough, so I'll put the garlic mashed potatoes in the bowl, and then I will get a plate to cover it. So let me check the chat. I see a heck yeah, but is that for both? Oh, Rachel, you're just crazy like a fox. So, anyway, I'm kind of, I see a couple said both, couple said cherry, so one or both drinks. So I'll have to get something else for, the other one. Because this drinking jar only holds about 13 ounces. So in the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and put the coffee in the mug. I'm going to throw the sugar in there because that's just how I like my coffee. And the creamer. That packet didn't open the way I wanted it to, but oh well, I'll get all in there. I'm going to check the chat again. So again, what do you want? As far as these drinks, do you want to see the cherry or the root beer float or both? I'm letting you all decide that, so then I can go get the appropriate glasses to drink out of. Now, if there's a Rosie, I didn't see that name, so unless Rosie is just someone with Rachel. I guess I'm assuming Rosie is someone who is with Rachel right now. If I'm wrong, my bad. Oh, okay. Now these are gusseted. I'd probably still call her Puppy Breath because, you know, sometimes I don't like to use a person's real name if it's not already apparent. I'm going to go ahead and open this pouch so I can see how much stuff is in here. There is Southern Ohio prepping in the house. The zip seal is done on this, and I'm leaving it like that because what I'm doing is kind of unpacking the food, so to speak, so I get the gusset to open up. Now the potatoes will take a lot less time to prepare than the chili mac. I can see what it looks like, the noodles, it definitely smells like chili. And you can see the seasoning on the noodles as well as on the beef. But I will do this first, and then because the potatoes will not take all that much time to rehydrate, I'll do them a little bit later. But I am going to switch out this for something bigger. Again, I've been letting you all decide, should I do the root beer float drink or the cherry drink or both? Either way, I'm going to have to get bigger containers because this drinking jar will not be enough. But anyway, I'll be right back. I went into the kitchen and I got 2 bottles of water out of my fridge. I see now more saying both, so it's a good thing I did what I did. So I got my, I'll show you what I got besides the water bottles. A big old Minotaur mug, which can hold probably close to 600 mils of water if you really fill it up. And then I have what I call my fake solo cup. It looks like a solo cup, but it's not a disposable. I don't have another clear one that's quite as big, so those will have to do. But anyway, I am going to go get my water for the chili mac, and I'll put it back on the stove to keep it hot for the potatoes, and I'll be right back. I went ahead and poured the water for the coffee. I see Carla in the house. Thanks for dropping in. Now I'm going to put this bag here inside of this. Throw this clip on it. Give it a bit of a shake. I'll stir the coffee. These both require 500 mils, but this may not quite hold 500, but actually, you know what I'll do? I'll do the root beer. Since the root beer float is traditionally in a mug when you go to a place like A&W. Oops, sorry about that. Didn't mean to bump the camera mount. I'm going to go ahead and put it in here. But first I'm going to show you how much powder is in there. You see it kind of speckled, kind of looks like, it definitely smells of root beer. Now I am going to go ahead and mix it in the pouch, even though I normally don't do that. But this is my Camel bottle is a 500 ml bottle. But what I'm going to do is I do not fill it all the way. That way there's a little bit more room for shaking. So shake for 45 seconds. There is some stuff that's kind of stuck in along the sides of the pouch, so what I will do, I will pour this into my mug. There's still quite a bit of stuff in the bottom. So I put the rest of the water in. And I'll take my spoon and kind of stir it. And then I'll shake it some more. Now pour the rest of this in. Well, that will take care of the root beer float, sort of. Minus the carbonation. So the Camel bottle is empty. I see Quint has come in. Thanks for dropping in. And I see Jay in the house. Thanks for dropping in. Almost had a tear fail on this thing, but it still worked. Might not be able to see in there unless I put a light in there, but I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing with this. I'm sticking this one in the pouch too. Now these fruity drink mixes don't have as much powder. Like the shake more, the shake type drinks. But there's still a little bit of the residue that I'm going to try to get out. Now there is the cherry drink. I can put a little bit more water in here, so I'll just go ahead and add a little bit more water to this so it's closer to 500 mils. There, that'll do it. So that'll take care of the cherry drink. When they packaged this pilot bread, they forgot to put a tear notch in it, but I can fix that. This time I get the cheaters. So there is the pilot bread. I'm going to go ahead and open up the sunflower seeds. And this is also in a gusseted pouch, so you could stand this up if you wanted to. Or so if you had this on, while you're hiking, you could put this in a pocket and just nibble as you go. You can see all the colors that they use. Yep, it's a sunflower kernel. So there is one of every color. Looks like there's even, there's 2 shades of green. Yeah, if you have not had these, you seriously got to try them. Of course not, yes, silly. I'm giving a bit of a knead to the chocolate peanut spread. Nope, these come courtesy of Minotaur Trading Company. Not directly off of a sunflower. I'm gonna It's not going to be a smiley face. I'm just squirting it on. This is not like Nutella because it's a milk chocolate and peanut, whereas Nutella is dark chocolate and hazelnut. And that's all sure for that. I will go ahead and put this back over here. There is hidden numismatist in the house. Thanks for dropping in. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and open up the instant mashed potatoes. Now remember, these are not what came in the ration. The original one was bacon instant mashed potatoes, but I do not know if it's real bacon or TVP bacon flavored. So I opted to pull that out, and I got my packet of the garlic mashed potatoes. Now this calls for 4 ounces of water, but you know, it's hard to shake in some potatoes, so I prefer to stir it instead. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go get my hot water, and then I'll get a plate to cover the bowl after I mix it, and I'll be right back. Actually, it'll be better if I put it. Oh, this will work. Not a perfect fit, but it'll work. There we go. I just shifted my cherry drink. Now I'm going to check the chili mac, see how it's coming. Says let stand for 10 minutes, so I really haven't been keeping track of time. It's still a bit soupy, but I'm going to give it another stir. Got to make sure that you get it well mixed, because sometimes you can have dry bits left behind, and have made that mistake before. So I'm going to let this sit a little bit more, even though 10 minutes might have passed, but I'm going to let it hang out in the Reflectix bag for a little more time. I'm going to go ahead and take a sip of my cherry. So I'm going to shift my coffee a little bit. A lot of companies are going to gummies. So don't be surprised if you see had a little cherry dribble, but don't be surprised if you do see more candy companies coming out with the gummies. I'm going to go ahead and take a bite of my pilot cracker with the chocolate peanut spread on it. It's not too sweet. The chocolate is not as strong in it as it would be in Nutella or, the Russian chocolate spread. Of course, I think the Russian chocolate spread is just pure chocolate. I don't think it has any nut in it. But it's a fresh change from the usual peanut butter. This just tastes like melted ice cream with a root beer flavor. To me, when I did it with the carbonated water, I got more of the root beer flavor out of it. Of course, I mixed it with slightly less water than the full 500 mils. Yeah, I think the Russian, it looks like it says, pasta, which would mean paste. Not noodle, not like the pasta that we know, but it has, I think it's just pure chocolate. I love that stuff. I could eat that stuff every day. I can smell the garlic. And I can taste the garlic. Of course, what would be awesome? Chives would be good in those instant potatoes. That would be an awesome thing to put in there. Yeah, I've had some good Russian rations as well. And there are some that I would like to try. I'm going to have a drink of my coffee. You know, the taster's choice. No, it's your standard instant coffee. Good go-to. I'm going to have another handful of these sunflower seeds. What looks like a breakfast item. Yeah, I did add more than 4 ounces of water to the mashed potatoes, and they will thicken up as it sits. Yep. Oh, you mean the instant potatoes look like cream of wheat? Actually, it would be too light in color for cream of wheat. And it wouldn't be quite as yellow. May not look it on camera, but to me, the instant potatoes looks a little towards the yellow, where the cream of wheat would probably be closer to like oatmeal color. I'm taking the... Yeah, now I actually like grits. I never had them till I went to college in Arkansas. This is still a bit soupy. I might have put too much water in here, so I'm going to go get a bowl and I'll be right back. I got everything out. Now there's beans in here. Now, some may actually want this, like, the consistency of a soup. Here's one of the noodles by itself. And a bit of onion. There's a piece of the meat and a bean. I'm getting the light. Now, beans did soften up. In fact, as you can see, some of them split. But they're still pretty good. It's kind of a, I would say towards the mild side, but there is spice to it, so you can taste it. What would have been nice is if they would have included a cheese spread to go along with this. There's a piece of bell pepper, I think. I could have cheated and looked at the ingredients. See that bit of green there? That is bell pepper. So it's a nice touch to add the bell pepper in there. See the red? See, is it going to be bell pepper or tomato? That's also bell pepper. I have had that. That is good. I had that in either. I think it was one of the mains that was in one of the Minotaur Titan rations that I did. It was the first one. It had the spaghetti, the Mountain House spaghetti, and the Mountain House chili mac. I just added in a bit of the mashed potato. Nice sized onion pieces in here. But this chili mac is pretty good. I just think it needs cheese. Oh, Jay, I bet that is awesome. That would make an awesome chili. I have had venison tacos on Indian fry bread. several years ago at a group camp. In fact, I think it was the first Iowa YouTuber meetup. Oh, I have never had Korean jerky. I would also like to try biltong. Oops. There is an event going on in the park across the street from my building. I do have my slider open, so if you hear any sounds like someone talking through a PA system and just sounds like a lot of people, yeah, that's what's going on. And yesterday there was another event and they're doing stuff in Spanish. Yeah, I just cut through the park to go to Walgreens because I wanted to pick up a couple of things there. Yep, people do that all the time around here, especially if they're not even from this neighborhood. They're coming either to visit someone who lives here or they're coming to attend something in the park. If I would have known I was going to get another root beer drink out of this ration, I probably would have bought me a carbonated water yesterday when I was in Walgreens, but I didn't. By the way, I tested that Voss water bottle with one of my filters. The mouth of the bottle is too big. The filter will not go on that bottle, so that was a no-go. Plus, it's glass, so that one would not be one that would go with me if I had to take a bottle that I could put a filter on. We got those around here too, and they're not even on motorcycles. That was a motorcycle. See, it comes closer so you can hear it now. I'm pretty sure you heard that. Now these garlic mashed potatoes would taste really good with chive in it. I'm just going to put the rest in the chili. What the heck? Just because I'm a little different. You know, add a little garlic flavor to the chili mac. The meat is the ground beef, and it rehydrated very well. It's in really small pieces, so it's kind of hard to see. I don't think there's a whole lot of it in here. There's definitely a lot of beans, which I'm okay with. You know, I eat beans. And Jay, is that a custom one? That you're getting? Pete is back. Yeah, pretzel sticks are okay. Especially if they're properly salted. Well, that's okay. At least you're in the lineup to get it done. I'm going to go for my cherry drink. It is definitely cherry, that's for sure. And it's better than the drink mixes you get in the USMREs and MCWs. The Minotaur drinks do have better flavor. The Snyder's honey mustard pretzels. Pretzel bites that are about that big. I have not had those in a coon's age, but I really do like them. Yep, you can do anything. Put some of this chocolate peanut spread on it. Now, speaking of crackers, now the Vegemite and the Marmite that was sent to me, I am going to use an Emery cracker to put them on because they are not salted. That way I can get the full flavor of the Vegemite and the Marmite. Now you'd have to have a pretty long pretzel stick. Of course, if you get the ones that are the size of the breadsticks that you get in Italian restaurants, now you got something going. But it would have to be either a cheese, you know, nothing really chunky in there, or the chocolate fondue if you've ever seen those. I personally have never had an actual chocolate fondue, but when I was a kid, my mom used to bring out her fondue pot and a little skinny forks. And we had a cheese sauce. Sometimes she would do a different cheese sauce. And we would dip bread cubes, like pieces of cheese, like a hard cheese, or a sausage or other pieces of meat, or maybe even veggies. But it has been so long since we've done that. And when my parents retired back in '06, they sold a lot of their stuff because they were downsizing into a smaller house. Plus, they had my maternal grandmother's stuff because they took her down with them when they went to live in Arkansas after they retired from apartment management here. Oh, not the property that I live in, but other properties they managed. So they sold the fondue pot, some other cookware. My mom sold all of her cake decorating stuff. Because when I was a kid, that was her side hustle, was cake decorating. Oh, that's awesome. It's awesome, Carla. And when one of my sisters worked at a Hickory Farm store here in Des Moines, she would get her employee discount, and then sometimes if there was product that was at its expiration date or sell-by date and could not be legally sold, sometimes she would bring that home and we would still eat it. And we got to use her employee discount when we bought Hickory Farms gift packs for people. And I used to get them for my birthday. Wow. Nope, I've never had cheese showed up on my doorstep because I don't have a doorstep, at least not one of my own. Unless it came on top of a pizza. Or some other item that the local pizza joints sell. There's one here in Des Moines called Northern Lights Pizza. And they sell things like cavatelli and a lasagna. There's Will, JIT Preparedness Info in the house. Thanks for dropping in. I turned my chili mac into a soup. And it came with mashed potatoes that had bacon in it, but I don't know if it didn't say if it was a bacon flavor artificial bacon flavor or real bacon, so I swapped it out for a bag of instant garlic mashed potatoes. But I ended up putting that in the chili because it gives a little bit of a garlic flavor. Because I like garlic in my chili. When I make chili, I put garlic in it. And I have another one of the root beer float drink mixes, but I didn't have another carbonated water, so I just used straight up tap water that I had in my fridge. So it tastes just like melted ice cream with the root beer flavoring. But when I did it with the carbonated water, that brought out the root beer flavor. But it's still good though. And then in my, sorry about that, bumped the camera out. In my fake solo cup, it looks like a solo cup, but it's actually a hard plastic that is actually dishwasher safe. And I have washed this in my dishwasher. In fact, I did a funny picture quite a few years ago at my mosque. We had some red solo cups that are about the same size as this one. So I got one of those, put it on the table, put this one right here next to it, and just asked people, I did this on Facebook, I said, which one is the real solo cup? And some of them picked this one as the real solo cup. No, I bumped my camera mount, or my phone mount, because this thing, it's not a rigid one, it's a flexible arm. And it's just a clamp. Or actually take this off. So this is the clamp that my phone sits in. So this is how I open and close the jaws. So you see this in the image all the time. So it's this flexible mount that goes down to this clamp. And because my tabletop is thin, I put just some pieces in there. So I have, the clamp has a little bit more to bite onto, but I might change that up and find something a little bit thicker. Maybe I'll have to pilfer a piece of scrap wood from somewhere, I guess. But I can tilt, I can bend the arm. And I can, if I was doing something where I needed my phone to be vertical, I can go vertical with it. Oh, not much. I was just showing my phone mount what it looks like. And, well, I added the rest of my instant potatoes to my chili mac. So I get a little garlic flavor in here. Yeah, it's a silly game, but you know, I had a little fun with this. I couldn't believe that several people who commented on there said that this was the actual Solo brand cup. And the other one was the fake. So that's why I call this my fake Solo. You know, Pete, that is a phrase that Johnny, the guy who has the channel Prepping Life, who lives here in Iowa, he says jack wagon. And I hardly hear anyone use that term, but I have heard like one other person use it, and now you use it. So I don't know how widespread that word is, but until he started, I heard him say it. I had never heard of that term before. But we do have a few of those around here. In fact, a couple weeks ago, the other building on this property got heavily vandalized during, the renovation is still going on here, so there's still work being done. So I'm assuming that when the doors are unlocked so that the workers can go in and out, some nutheads got in there and just basically went bonkers. Punching holes in the walls, punching windows, trying to beat in doors. And the new doors that they put in here are pretty stout. So apparently the cameras that used to be here either just quit working or were taken down, because the company rep was telling me about the vandalism, and he said, might want to get cameras. And so he said, yeah, they're already thinking about it. In my building, there are only 6 people living here. I thought there were fewer than that, but then, looking at the vehicles that are parked here all the time, there are 5 vehicles that are parked here all the time, and I'm the 6th person. I'm just scrolling up through the chat. Now, I just keep going after this. I'll call it chili mac soup. Now, I just can't stop eating this. That's a movie I don't think I've ever watched. I don't think I've ever watched Full Metal Jacket. If I did, it was a long time ago. Maybe after it was released on like HBO or Cinemax or whatever movie channel we had at the time. Because I know I've never seen it in a theater, because I've only gone to, as an adult, I've only gone to movie theaters maybe 4 or 5 times. Or maybe 10. We used to have a discount movie theater in our downtown area, but people stopped going when the movie prices went up above $1. And of course, they kill you at the concession stand. Yeah, but the way you do that if you use flour as a thickener, you actually have to cook the flour with a fat like oil or butter or a liquefied meat fat, and then you add the rest of your soup ingredients. But if you use cornstarch as a thickener, or you can use instant potatoes or potato starch, you can add that later. But when you use cornstarch, you have to mix it with a little bit of water and then add it to the pot. Oh, Mike, you got about 20 minutes? Oh, okay. Oh, it wouldn't be closed if you can see the chat. Oh, you must have had I hope it was like a vacation that you're coming home from. Oh, that's cool. Hopefully you found something that's of use and is a good value. I went to a mall last week, but not to buy anything because Kohl's is an Amazon return point for an item that you buy off of Amazon is actually fulfilled by Amazon and not a third-party seller. But the item that I ordered, that I returned, was actually the incorrect item, and the listing was kind of confusing. So I got the item, and plus the box that it was packed in by the manufacturer, that's how it was shipped in that box. There was no other packaging, so it had two dehydrator trays, but they will not work with my dehydrator. So I got the return authorization. I took it to Kohl's and I showed them my proof. And so they just took it and they repackaged it to send it back to Amazon. And another dehydrator accessory that I got was just put into a bubble mailer, no additional protection. And it's those fruit roll tray liners. I thought that they would be like a flexible silicone, but they're rigid plastic. But they were shipped by USPS, and guess what? One was completely busted in half because the mail carrier bent it and stuffed it into the package box because the bubble mailer was not marked "Do Not Bend." Just the shipping label was stuck on it. And that one came from a third-party seller, so I have to wait for that seller to decide if they will accept the return. But unfortunately, Amazon does not have a way for me to upload pictures when I do a return request. So I will have to wait for an email from the actual seller then I can attach my pictures to. So the only dehydrator accessory that I could keep was the mesh screens that I can use for dehydrating herbs or really small fruit or veggie pieces. Or say if I want to dehydrate finely ground meat. But that one came well packaged in a box, so I was happy with that. That pair of those dehydrator screen liners, I can keep those. So well, you win some, you lose some. Yes, this is the chocolate peanut spread. I'll go ahead and lift it up. And it's on a pilot bread. Yep, it is good. The chocolate does not overpower the peanut taste, and it is not sweet. Someone probably want that a little sweeter. It's nowhere near as sweet as a chocolate paste that you get in Russian rations, or even as sweet as a Nutella, which is the hazelnut spread. I have never had any packet gourmet. I've only had the Mountain House. I have some Backpacker's Pantry items, and I think I have a couple of Alpine Air items, and I have some of the Wise camping food pouches in one of my buckets, my 5-gallon buckets. Yep, there are some that are a little heavy on the sweet, but then there are some that could actually use a sweet component. Get the sweet from these and the root beer float drink. It is sweet, but it's just the right amount of sweetness. Backpacker's Pantry has items that Mountain House or some of the other ones do not have. And the same with Alpine Air or Packet Gourmet. Dave's 45 Auto, the guy who sent me that G7 coffee, he has also done Peak Refuel, Stowaway Gourmet, and he finds some other smaller companies and gets some items from there to try them out. And if he likes them, after he does a review of them, then he may order more, and he keeps that in his supply of hiking food, because he likes to do a lot of backpacking, and so he takes that kind of food with him. or protein bars or meal bars or something like that, depending on how long his hike is. Yep. What I would love to see is some company doing certified halal or kosher. And of course, there are you can find a lot of vegetarian options too from these companies. There are kids in the park, just yelling at each other, as they play, because they're probably spread apart or just to yell over noise. I'm just gonna go for another handful of these. Those might be hard to find. I had those as a kid. My aim was always off. But we still had fun with them. Yes, they are, but there may be some people who might actually still have them. Just never got rid of them. Of course, crafty people could, if they got the skills and the materials, they could make their own. Wow. Did you get him, Jay? Nope. When I was a kid and we had them, we just had to make sure that they stayed out of the flower beds. Because my mom didn't want those darts sitting in the flower beds, or we grew rhubarb. Of course, we had our fun with the rhubarb leaves after we picked the rhubarb and ate it. We actually used the leaves as fans. Yep, we fanned ourselves with the rhubarb leaves because they're that big. I just finished off that chili mac. Oh well. Maybe next time I'll find something that's right up your alley. If I got one of those, someone would have to take me to a place where I could shoot it. Yeah, I've shot a few, a couple years ago at the at the Iowa YouTuber meetup. There was a range where we were camping at. It was on a private property. Actually, it was a campground, but there was a private property that we were given access to. That has a range. And so people could bring their plinkers. And so we did some shooting, and I did shoot a couple of different ones, plus my BB gun. I did take that. That's the only one that I own is my my Daisy power line. But someone would have to take me to a place where I can shoot it, because I don't think there are any ranges on bus routes. But every round went in the dirt. And back in '83, a summer camp I attended had a range, and there were 12 gauges and 22s. So that's what we had to shoot. And I put every round in the dirt. Oh, you had the chili mac? Was it the Minotaur chili mac, Mike, or was it Mountain House or something else? I'm scrolling back up. Oh, yum. Rachel, that sounds awesome. I like mushrooms. I like blue cheese. Yep, last day of a vacation is always the hardest. It's just like the last day of a camping trip. Because you got to pack up and go home. Yeah, I do like that flavor of the Minotaur chili mac. I just put a little too much water in it and turn it into a soup, but I'm okay with that. Crazy Burger, that sounds like a place we got here called Zombie Burger. Oh, cool. I ordered another golden ticket. So I have one. That I have not reviewed yet. I opened it up, but I have not reviewed it yet. But the three that I have opened up so far have not been winners. But I got the same main in. I got the. I got the same chili. It's not this chili. It's not the chili mac. It's another one of their chili recipes. I got the same one twice. So what I might do, since I have a bunch of mains in my big box of stuff, I may swap it out. I see a Booger Butt and Booger Butt. Is it one or both of you in here? Oh, okay. Well, Zombie Burger does not go that far. They just add different combinations of toppings and bun styles, and they give them weird names. And if you go on there your birthday and you show them that it's your birthday, you get a free shake. In fact, the last time I was there with Aletha, Jay got a free shake because the server overheard them talking about their anniversary because we were celebrating their wedding anniversary. And so the price of Jay's shake got taken off the bill. So the only shake that was paid for was the one that I ordered. Yep. And we were in their covered patio. They had just finished that not all that long before we went in there because they were because at that time the restriction was outside dining and separated tables by 6 feet, and they have these giant heaters so that if you're right next to one, you really feel the heat. In fact, I took my coat off. I was sitting outside, but because of that heater and the way that these covers that they put on around the patio area, well, half of it anyway, but there are gaps in between for ventilation and for people to go in and out. But yeah, that thing Those heaters are on full blast. They sound like a jet fighter kicked in its afterburner. Oh, that's a bummer. Should have a little something on your birthday. I don't get much on my birthday these days because I just don't go out. And of course, January, my birthday's in January. And it was cold, and we had more restrictions than we do now. I mean, basically, we're almost restriction-free here in Iowa. Some places... Oh, there's Flora and Anne-Marie, Art, and Ornita in the house. Thanks for dropping in. All I got left as far as food is my chocolate-covered sunflower kernels. But I got the spork, titanium spork. You can get these on the foreignemery.com site. And you can get these mugs. I ordered another one of the mystery boxes. And MCW. Oh, yep. Even last year, we had the Country Prepper Memorial Camp. We went. And then, of course, this past March, we did it again. I mean, the one last year was shortly before Iowa went into a lockdown. I'm checking the... I had to readjust my... for some reason, my phone wasn't charged, but you know, I plugged it into a power bank right at the start. I'll just go back through the chat. By the way, that was a super chat. That's why that $10 is there. Oh, sweet. You know, and I ordered a French RCIR from Emery Mountain, and it got raided. I emailed them pictures, but I never heard anything from them about it, so I don't know what's going to happen to that. Oh, DeCarlos Perry is in the house. Thanks for dropping in. I ate all the chili mac. I substituted garlic mashed potatoes for the bacon mashed potatoes that came in this bag. Minotaur's version of MCW. But this is the root beer float drink mix. but made in just regular tap water because I didn't have another bottle of carbonated water. So it doesn't quite have the full root beer flavor, but that's still a good drink. And I got the cherry drink. Both of these came out of this ration, so in my fake solo cup I got the cherry drink. I don't have another clear one that's this big, so I got this one instead. I'll just put that right here where my pilot cracker was. And in the foreign MRE mug, the coffee, taster's choice. I do like it better than that deep rich, because that deep rich, I have to be dropping 2 packets in there. Yeah. Yeah, last week, Carla, I had a toothless root taken out, and in a couple of weeks, I'm going to go back to my dentist to see if I can get a bridge. So that's going to be added to my dental debt, because my insurance will not cover everything that the dentist does, but I at least get some coverage, which is better than, the last time I tried to get dental coverage, I picked the dentist that was on their list, but they denied the coverage for an initial exam. Uh-oh. There is Sunshine dropping the super chat. That's greatly appreciated. I do appreciate those super chats. Yep, that's what that is. And in some of my past streams, I explain how that works for those that have never seen it. But with all these streams going on, I'm sure a lot of people have seen the super chats by now. That thing that showed up on my screen, I have no idea. I'm a something. It just looks, it's an orange circle with some square it looks like it was not correctly drawn, because I don't know. That's what it looks like. But yeah, I do appreciate those super chats, because that goes back into the channel. So I either buy something to review, or I can, use it towards rations. Or last year I bought a new tripod, because the one that I had been using for trips, that one busted. And it was kind of small anyway, but I thought at the time that a small tripod would be good for travel, but it's just a cheap craft thing that just could not stand up to constant movement, unpacking, packing it up. So that thing broke. In fact, it was at a camp. So I was trying to, the last night we were there, I was trying to, sorry about that brief disconnect. I was trying to film my campfire, but the head broke that my phone was mounted on. And I had already tried to super glue it once before I went, and it just, or actually twice. So when we were getting ready to throw our trash out, it went into the trash. It never left the campground. It went into the dumpster. So I bought that beefy Zome tripod, and Tack from AOK Foraging and Adventures, she likes it. I don't know if she will buy one yet because she has been having issues with the tripod that she normally travels with, but that Zome has really worked out for me. I mean, it's like $60, but it's worth it. Yeah, I don't doubt that because YouTubers that are in Arkansas that I watch, they have showed or talked about all of the rain that they've gotten. And it's hampering their, one has a small homestead and it's hard for her to get around to do some of this stuff. Oh, that's a super sticker. That little bouncy thing that's called a super sticker. That is Nina doing that. Dropping another $10. So that is Nina's business, her other business account. So thanks for dropping that, Nina. So she does Foreign Emery and this other management or consulting business. So yeah, she's a busy woman. So sometimes those two have done a super chat war, but I don't want them to go broke over doing, you don't need to go broke over the super chats. If you can't support me financially, I'm okay with that. Watching, liking, commenting, just hanging out. Oh. I guess I shouldn't have said that because look what I just did. Oh, I wish it was easier to get foreign rations. Yeah, there's another company out of England called Amory Empire, and people are starting to order from them, but it takes a little while longer to get things from across the pond. But Eats, Treats, and MREs, she is in the UK, so she features a lot of their stuff. So she also features a lot of stuff from a company called Prepper's Paradise. So she gets a monthly subscription box from them, and so she gets a good number of food items that she can add to her collection for review. Plus, she sometimes will buy extra because art will not defeat me. Yeah, I think I opened a can of worms with that one. But what's up there now? After Google gets their take of it, I can probably still, that'll probably still be enough to order a DAF ration or another Norwegian Arctic Field ration. Of course, it takes time for all that to accumulate. The last handful of the chocolate-covered sunflower kernels. I have never seen any other company do this besides Minotaur. Oh, Carl, you had your gas turned off? Well, I hope it was for some reason other than not being able to pay the bill. Oh, there goes Art dropping that other super chat. Oh, okay, so you just turned your gas is only for your heat, and now that it's warmer, you don't need it. And I actually hope it stays warmer for a little while, because last night I covered my plants again. It got down to 45 here last night. I have just the tiniest little shoots coming up out of 6 of my planters. The first rain that came after the evening after I put my seeds in the pots, it washed them out of one of my little pots. So after that soil dried out a little bit more, I put some more seeds in and put some compost on top. So that one is going to be behind the others, but it's herbs anyway. So I have 4 different herbs in those little pots. I'll do a video update. But the night before last was the coldest night. It got down to, like 35 here. And there was actually frost in some parts of Iowa. So, and the night before that, it was in the low 40s. So I covered my plants, and I brought my 3 smallest pots in. And while I had the 3 smallest pots in, I replanted the one that I lost the seeds. Oh, DeCarlos Perry dropping that super chat. Well, that's much appreciated, DeCarlos. I mean, you've already done a lot by getting me that seafood chowder MCW. But yeah, that's yep. I'm probably going to call this one good as well, because I'm just down to my drinks. I ate all the sunflower seeds. And I bet you're right on that one. But yeah, I think I'm going to go ahead and close this one down so I can just finish off my drinks, clean up. I've been over 2 hours in here. But next week will be one of the MREs that I got from foreignMRE.com. Oh, sorry to Carlos. I think Art just nipped you. But I'm not going to let this craziness go on all night because you just, otherwise, you all will be going broke, and I don't want you to be doing that. I mean, you got to pay your bills, you got to buy your own food, you got to buy rations. But I do want to go ahead and close this out so I can hand it over to the YouTube processor. But again, I do want to thank you all for watching. I really thank you all for dropping those super chats. It's much appreciated. So I have some items that I will be showing from my most recent Google payments, but those will come up in future videos. So anyway, I got lots of video fodder to do, and I'll be knocking some out tomorrow. So again, thank you all for watching, and see you next month, and catch you on the flip side.